everybody, Lloyd here from Just Got Played, and today we are doing another game unboxing. This is ongoing coverage of Marvel United X-Men, the latest Kickstarter. And today we're looking at the Horseman of the Apocalypse expansion. So let's just flip this over and take a look at it real quick. This comes with 5 bad guys, although Apocalypse is purple, which means he is an anti-hero. So you can use him as a bad guy or as a good guy. But this is 1 to 4 players, 14 and up. And it does require the base game to have, or one of the base games. So let's go ahead and pop open the top and see what we've got inside. So, if you're not familiar with Marvel United, either the X-Men one or the standard one that was more Avengers based, it is a 1 to 4 player co-op. However, you can have a 1 versus all, and somebody can play a supervillain in this game. So it can go up to 5 players, and if you get the blue and gold team expansions, you can actually have 3 versus 3. So it takes you up to 6 players, and then you can have a 7th player play the supervillain. So you could have up to 7 players playing this game. And basically what it does is the core game, you're going to have 6 locations out. You're going to have a bad guy, and you need to defeat the bad guy by knocking him out. The bad guy is going to move around the locations. He's going to put out thugs. Civilians are going to come out. And what you need to do in order to fight the bad guy, to defeat the bad guy, is you need to knock him out. And you do that by rescuing civilians, defeating thugs, or clearing threats around the boards, around the locations. And once you do that, you can, once you do a couple of those, 2 out of the 3, you can then actually go and fight the supervillain. But until then, you're just kind of putting out fires and saving people, trying to not let the bad guy run too far away with the game. And what all these expansions do is they add extra game modes or extra wrinkles that you can kind of add to the base game. And you can mix and match those different game modes how you want. And you can make the game more complicated or simpler by adding stuff or removing stuff. So what this one adds is the Horseman of the Apocalypse. So this kind of operates similar to, I think, how the Sinister Six version works, along with Thanos. So in the original game, the original Marvel United, if you got the Sinister Six expansion, you fought all 6 of the Sinister Six at the same time. And then there was also a Thanos expansion that revolved around the Infinity Gems, and you played a campaign mission where you fought a couple of the Black Order in order to collect the gems, or to stop Thanos from collecting the gems, really. So this kind of looks like it might do a little bit of both, where first you have to fight the Horseman, and then once you defeat the Horseman, then you move on to the battle against Apocalypse. So it kind of combines those 2 modes. You're going to be fighting multiple bad guys at the same time, and then you're going to go ahead and go against the big bad. And it's got some special rules for supervillain mode here. And I think one thing to note is that you cannot play against the Horsemen individually. So you either play this mode, or you can play just against Apocalypse. But if you want to play the Horsemen, they do not have individual character decks as far as I know, but we can confirm that once we get into the box. So let's get into the box. So here we have the special villain dashboard for all 4 of the Horsemen. So we got some special rules, KO rules. Death has a very special one, and it looks like you're going to fight 1 at a time in increasing difficulty, right? So maybe don't fight them all at the same time. These arrows kind of lead me to believe you start with Famine, then you work your way up. So that was the villain dashboard. Let's take a look at the new locations they've included. They've only got 2 in here, which is Apocalypse's Pyramid and the Starlight Citadel. So the game comes, each expansion comes with a couple of these cards. Some have 6, some have 3. So you just kind of mix and match these with the game. And then these here are hazardous locations, so they have some bad effect while you're there. So there we go. Those are the 2 new locations that are added. Let's take a look at Apocalypse's villain board. So he has a special setup just for him. And then the supervillain mode here is if he's playing as as someone is playing as Apocalypse, the heroes start with these tokens. So here we have his special rules, his BAM effect, what happens when he punches you, essentially, the overflow effect, and then his villainous plot. So this is the Apocalypse track. You probably don't want to let that fill up. That would probably be bad. So there you go. That's the Apocalypse dashboard. Let's go ahead and get into what's in the box. We have this little red survival token, which is different than the other tracker token. So I think you might use both of these together. We'll have to go and review the rules. But let's go ahead and take a look at the different decks of cards in here. This should be different because we've got 5 minis, and these guys you can't play separately. You have to play against them in this mode only. I'm sure someone will homebrew some cards to play against them. So let's take a look at what we've got right out of the box. So first we have the Apocalypse hero cards. So if you want to play with him, and he does come with a starting hand card. So what Marvel United X-Men introduced was this starting hand. So if a mutant had like some kind of innate ability that's always on, they gave them a starting hand card. So you'll always start with this at the beginning of the game. And his starting is immortality. So draw 1 card. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, when you are KO'd, the villain doesn't activate their BAM or any alternate effect. So that's kind of wonky, I guess. I guess whenever you play it, you draw the 1 card, so you basically replace it. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, when you are KO'd, the villain doesn't activate their BAM or any alternate effect. So that's really powerful that the villain doesn't get to BAM whenever you get KO'd, because essentially you're immortal, so you can't get KO'd. So let's just take a look. He's got some pretty cool artwork already. I mean, even just that very minimalistic, just him walking just looks super menacing. There he is. He's turned his hand into a big spike ball. And there he's mean mugging you, looking at you saying, come on, bring it on. Survival of the fittest. Celestial energy manipulation. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like this card, just that menacing walking towards you. So those are his hero cards. Let's take a look at the different these guys. So these guys are a little different. The Horsemen, they have a front and a back. So they do have a BAM effect on them. And it looks like you knock them out once and then they're weakened. And then you have to knock them out again. So we've got Famine and War and Pestilence and Death. And Death is actually, Archangel before he became Archangel. So this is when he was first Angel and he got turned into one of the Horsemen of Apocalypse and got his cool razor wings. He was a bad guy. So yeah, this is something different. 2-sided bad guy cards that you have to knock them out multiple times. That doesn't sound fun. I mean, it sounds fun, but it doesn't sound fun. And then this here is his villain deck. So it looks like in his villain deck, he can call out each of the horsemen, right? And then he's got all these cool cards. And I'm sure there's some special rules for... here it says the first 2 available horsemen activate their BAM in order. So, yeah, you look... Maybe you do fight them all at the same time. Maybe that's just the order that you activate their BAM. And it does look like that order changes up. So it is different, each card. So they mix it up a bit. So it definitely looks pretty cool, just in terms of the gameplay elements that it has. And if you notice, most of the cards are going clockwise. And he's actually got 1 counterclockwise card, which might throw you off. And then he's got his starting master plan. So Age of Apocalypse begins. Move Apocalypse and one hero in his location to Apocalypse Pyramid. That hero takes 2 damage. So that is pretty bad. And he gets to start with that right out of the gate. So I'm guessing he starts with that if someone's playing as him. I'm not sure how this card works with the AI playing, but I'm sure we'll get to it. And then he's got some extra threat cards. And the threat cards all revolve around the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So we've got Shedding Chaos. This threat influences Shedding Chaos Master Plan cards. So these all look like they relate to cards in his Master Plan deck. And then over here we've got cards for all of the Horsemen. So we've got some death cards. So this mode looks really interesting because this is something that I haven't seen yet. You know, there's all these little sub-villains and they all have their own little deck and they all have their own things that they do, which is, it changes up the formula of the game. So we've got War. And it looks like those tie to some of the Master Plan cards as well. Or maybe these are the Master Plan cards that they tie in with. I wonder if you shuffle these up or if it's 4 separate decks. But so yeah, that definitely looks like a cool game mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of the minis. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Horsemen of the Apocalypse minis, and we're going to start with Horseman Famine. So all of the Horseman figures are really cool. This one is fun. She's riding like a big robotic cat demon thing. So really fun figure. I like how she's riding it. She's like mounted on her knees riding it. If you look, you can see, her ribs showing through because she is Famine. This is just a really cool mini. And, it's big and beefy because, they put his little legs on the base, but as you can see, he extends way off the base, or whatever this robot monstrosity is. But yeah, this is Famine. I really like this figure. It's pretty cool. Next up, we've got Horseman War. War's riding into battle on his, giant robo horse demon thing. And if you look, he's got like this scaled armor molded into him. Really cool looking figure. Very intimidating looking. I definitely like the way he looks. And again, just a big beefy figure because, the little feet are on there, but the whole body extends way off. Just really cool. I really like the figure and it has like a really cool profile. So yeah, that is War. Next up, we have Horseman Pestilence. And I don't know what she's riding. It's like some kind of pterodactyl horse dinosaur thing. It's cool looking. And yeah, she's a pretty cool figure. I definitely like the style here. All the horsemen, with their matching robo horse things are really cool. I definitely like the way these guys look. So yeah, that is Horseman Pestilence. Nice. Next up, we have Horseman Death. So this is one of my favorite minis I've seen so far that comes out of any of the sets I've opened yet. Just really cool, just creepy. You know, he's got that creepy skull face. The wings, he's kind of, you know, hovering over his, you know, pile of skulls and bones. Just a really cool figure. And this is Archangel, right? So this is Angel after he loses his wings and he's all depressed. And he makes a deal with Apocalypse. Apocalypse gives him these cool razor metal wings. And, you know, part of the deal is he becomes his horseman. Horseman Death. And, you know, he's a badass. I definitely like the way he looks. Such a cool looking mini. So yeah, there we go. That's the last Horseman. And last but not least, we have Apocalypse. I don't know what his name is. It's an Egyptian name. But yeah, so this is Apocalypse. He is that purple shade because you can play him as a hero or a villain. And, you know, overall, he is pretty cool. He's like stomping on that Xavier School of the Gifted plaque, the X-Men plaque. Really cool. I like how they did that so they can make him just a little bit bigger on the mini. You know, because they gave him just a little bit of extra space so he can really be a larger figure. So he can have, you know, that imposing scale that he needs. This is a really cool figure. I definitely like Apocalypse. And I can't wait to play as him because this is going to be awesome to play as Apocalypse. I imagine he's like super OP. Like, who can take down Apocalypse? I mean, it usually takes like all the X-Men together to take him down. And they usually only like subdue him. They don't actually beat him. So yeah, that is Apocalypse. And that's going to do it for all the minis in the Horsemen of the Apocalypse expansion. So let's put everything back in the box. Throw those there. Throw that in there. This goes here. This thing goes on top. Yep. Then we've got the rules. Throw the rules there. And let's put the top back on. So that was Marvel United X-Men, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse expansion. Stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be doing all of the expansions, the 10 boxes plus the special Kickstarter exclusive box. We're going to go through all the minis and all the cards in there. So just pay attention to the channel. Let us know what you thought. Do you like Marvel United? Did you go all in? Did you only pick specific expansions to get? If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible. So there you have it. Marvel United, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse expansion. Thanks for watching, guys.
We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a comment or hit the like button. It really does help us out. If you have suggestions for future videos, let us know in the comments as well, and then subscribe to see what we come up with next.